So starting the test drive in the custom Trail Boss with the TURBOMAX gets up to speed relatively quickly. It doesn't feel the same as the V8 just because you kind of have that turbo lag there. But when the turbo kicks in, it kicks in. Give it some throttle here. Yeah, ooh yeah, that's nice. I mean, the turbo does work. We're gonna give it a little pull here, getting on the interstate. So don't want to redline it, but I mean, it gets up to speed with ease. And I love the turbo sound. It just sounds so cool to me. Give it another pull here. So pretty impressive. Now with these Goodyear tires, road noise is a bit prevalent, but I like it because it sounds like a lifted truck that wasn't destroyed by being lifted. I mean, it feels like a stock 2-inch lifted Silverado. So even though I didn't put any crazy aftermarket stuff into it, it still looks bad coming down the road here. And has a nice rolling road noise. And ride quality is actually pretty good even on these 20s. It's a full-size pickup truck, so they don't tend to necessarily ride terribly. But not really feeling anything differently as opposed to the standard Silverado. Now in terms of what you get for the money, I do think this is I think it's a stellar deal with all things considered compared to everything else you can get here. I like the 4-cylinder TURBOMAX. I like the 8-speed automatic. I like the Trail Boss. I actually love the Trail Boss trim, even as it being a custom, because you get all the fancy stuff without having to necessarily go up to an LT Trail Boss. In terms of just the exterior aesthetics, you don't get the LED beams or the upgraded tail lights, but you can swap those out. And on top of that, it still looks hardcore driving this thing down the road. And put a few aftermarket touches on it and it'll probably look better than an LT Trail Boss does stock, and you can save a little bit of money. But in terms of not having a V8, it doesn't bother me because someone like myself, I don't tow anything. I basically just use my truck to haul. And if I were to have to tow something, it wouldn't be more than 4,000 pounds. And for the few times that I'll be doing that, if any, I'd rather use my Turbo 4 as opposed to paying extra for a V8, and then the other 98% of the time when I have to drive for work or something, I'm getting worse gas mileage, not having auto stop. Just, this is more practical and you still have a nice looking truck. But with the prices being what they are of all vehicles, I mean, almost 56 grand is still a ton of money, but compared to what it could be for something like this, I just think this is still an impressive buy compared to paying 70, 80 grand for a truck that might have heated, cooled seats, it might have all that other stuff, but you're having to suffer paying that extra money a month in payment. And just long term, all of that is gonna drive your costs up. Having the V8 is gonna be more gas, probably gonna be more insurance. And then just having the higher trim long term just drives that payment up. You're paying more in interest. So I guess time will tell how these hold up in terms of value, in terms of reliability, but first impressions of it, I'm impressed with everything about this truck. So with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Custom Trail Boss.